Hey folks, Kozzi here drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1 with this Feln control deck. I don't know what to say about it. I feel as though this deck should do some work. We have slightly fewer 2-drops to slow down the opponent than I'd like, but geez, we're stocked on removal. We have an Annihilate into an Execute, into Ice Sprite, into a Death Strike, into a Feeding Time, into a pair of Skycrag Wyvarks, with a fair amount of card draw, with a pair of Wisdom of the Elders, and a Beefcake at the top end. Looking at this deck, I would have preferred to have a Dark Return or two to give myself a little bit of recursion. I would prefer to have a little bit of life gain to help me out if my opponent does get aggressive, but I think the plan's pretty simple. We hope to remove the creatures, ideally once they've put in a piece of equipment on it, so we can get ourselves some value, and once we've run them out of resources or clogged up the board, we turn the corner and use our beefcakes to hopefully win the day. Whether this works, I'm a little bit skeptical. I feel as though the Eternal Limited format really rewards aggression at the moment. Most cards are designed to be getting on the front foot, and already we have a slightly interesting proposition because we have a hand that has all of our colors. We're on the play, but nothing really to do. And we also need our second Primal Sigil to cast my Wisdom of the Elders. I think we'll just need to trust Herald's Song to help us out here. I don't think I can pass down a hand that has 3 power and 4 spells. But yeah, this is the kind of hand that could prove some of my concerns about the difficulty of being reactive in the Eternal Limited format. Fortunately, if my opponent is playing Elysian, they're not the fastest out of the gates. If I would have seen fire there, you would have probably heard me gulp into the microphone. But it looks like we might have a little bit of time to establish ourselves. I would have preferred not to have let that get in, although we don't have a lot of X1s that I super duper care about. So, to discard, Eastwind Herald will be a blocker that helps out. Ice Sprite's probably my next turn play. I'd ideally like to have the chance to draw another Sigil. We need the Sigil to cast anything. So I think the choice is between getting rid of the Herald Song or the Eastwind Herald. I think 1 in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. So even though I'd like to try and draw for another Primal Sigil, I think we need to ditch that. Ice Sprite can definitely get juicier targets than a 2-2, so there could be an argument made to just play the Herald and hope that that's enough. The problem is now that he's got the Snowball, he's not going to be afraid to attack in. Crown of Possibilities. It's a weird card, and I don't think I'd like to draft it myself, but that could do work for you. So the question is, do I want an ineffectual chump blocker? Perhaps I should have thought about this before throwing out my Herald Song. That could well have been a mistake. Or do I want to use my Ice Sprite on the 2-2 now? Working on the assumption that so long as I draw power, I've got better stuff to come. The reality is this actually isn't a blocker at all, now that he's drawn the snow. So yeah, let's just hope that this expensive hand doesn't cost us. We just need to draw a power right now and hope. Okay, that's not power, but it's not bad either. At this point, the one thing that could burn me from attacking with my Ice Sprite is if he has a Levitate. I don't think I saw a stop in his end step to make me worry about it, so I'm happy to attack in here. And even though we didn't draw a power, this was probably the next best thing, because it allows me to cast 2 spells this turn and have a threatening board. That was a very good card to get echoed. So that was a random skill that he got. Yuck! Yuck! What a skill. Why can't you just get something rubbish? Do I want to trade this for an Amber Acolyte as well as a Snowball? Yeah, I'm happy with that trade. It's not really a 2-for-1 because he got that Snowball for free, but I want to get that out of his hand. We need some power. He's now holding up mana for Lightning Strike, which means I need to respect it, so I don't think I'm attacking in. We just need to draw this power. He has a stop, which makes me think, okay. I thought it might have been a Levitate, but that also makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we're going to lose this game unless we draw power soon. I don't want to be double blocking here because it's going to be opening up the other 2-2, so it's basically out of the frying pan into the fire. And do we get a power? We do. I think the Steward of the Past is the best draw here. It stops him from attacking with his Lumen Shepherd. In fact, it stops him very nicely on the assumption he doesn't get an equipment. I would love to be able to cast this sooner or later, but unfortunately I think that's going to be later. Do I have any attacks I want to make first? I probably do. I want to get in, because this should slow down everybody. Oh, we might just get here if we can draw another power. Especially if we can get our second Shadow. It allows us to think about playing the Skycrag, it allows us to think about playing the Wisdom, and we can buy time here with our Frostkin to work out what to do next. Stating the obvious, this guy is never attacking in the short or medium term. I do not want to let him double or triple block, it's just not worth the value for me. And the reason why you see just then, he can't attack. I could be tempted because I can now use my fast spell, but I feel as though that is just profound greediness. I think the creature I want to kill most is the Friendly Wisp with this Wyvark. The reason being is I don't want him to be able to draw out of this pickle. I'm very happy keeping him in this particular situation. So we activate Killer to get rid of his card draw. He could get aggressive here and attack in and get 4 past me. I'm okay. This does keep me nervous because stuff that shouldn't have flying and is costed not to have flying could all of a sudden get flying. But otherwise, we can start to gum up the ground here. And funnily enough, for an Elysian deck, I haven't seen a lot of flyers from him. But gum up the ground and then start to attack in. That's 6 on an attack. Alrighty, that's a problem. Okay, that's a big attack right there. So what are we going to do about it? Obviously these guys are staying back now. Him silencing my Ice Sprite deals with a problem that I was going to have in the future if I was able to drop this Eternal Tyrant. So we want some blocks. If I cast my Frostkin, I can freeze one of the 4/6s. He can still attack him with his 4/6, and I can block here and take 6, putting me on 1. Yeah, that's the best of my options. I need to hope he doesn't have another way to freeze me. And our game plan now is to draw that second fire sigil. Because if we do it and we gain 10 life, then we're comfortable. If he attacks with just this guy, I'm definitely triple blocking. If he attacks with the team, I have some profitable blocks to make. And I take 5. Okay, this isn't terrible yet. But seeing that he's played some conditional cards like this make me think that I need to respect them a little bit more than I have so far. It's a shame that we missed on that power on turns 3 and 4. I don't know if he has a pump spell. Why would you be saying good game otherwise? That's 5 damage through. What could he do that could hurt me? Can't think of what he can do. Maybe he's given up. I don't know why you do that there. Thank you very, very much. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I thought that was the Seek Power. Oh dear. Alrighty, so what we can do is we can get to 7. So we can cast Wisdom of the Elders as well as Death Strike. I need to make the choice of whether I want to cast this first. I think the reason why I'd want to cast this first is in the hopes of finding a Fire Sigil. But that will happen. I won't be able to cast that anyway. So I think we keep... Well, I can also... I just want to look and see if I've got anything more useful coming up. And that is more useful. It certainly is. I don't think I want to attack. Let's see what blocks. I can have a block here. I can kill one of his creatures. I can block here. So I can actually afford to attack with one creature. If I'm attacking with a creature, I probably don't want to lose my flyer, because that has more utility if he happens to have a piece of removal. There you go. And so I have the choice now of using this spell whilst, well, he's not tapped out at all. So instead I think we'll hold on to it and hold it back, and we'll start killing his creatures. Ideally once he's put some kind of equipment on them. We want to do it now? Yeah, we want to do it now. We need to start working through these guys. That's the wrong sigil for my needs, and do I want to try and attack in? I could Death Strike and then feel more comfortable attacking in with both. But whilst he is powered up, I need to respect that he hasn't played power and he's held onto these cards for a long time. It makes me think that he's probably got a hand chocked with lightning strikes. And so even if he blocks here and he lightning strikes, so I think we just need to sit back. Our plan is to find this Fire Sigil rather than to get aggro on. He picked up Aegis, did he? Okay. That's annoying, but so be it. Do I crack the Aegis? Or do I stun the 4/6? Stunning the 4/6, I probably won't want to be attacking in anyway. So I think we crack the Aegis so I have the option of killing him. Doesn't feel good. Oh, don't get Echo on a creature. I'm trying to outvalue you, not the other way around, man. What creature did you get? Get something rubbish. Let it be a 1/3 in the air, or silly 1/1. At least it's not another Lumen Shepherd he's been able to echo. Like, we've done alright to claw back from where we were. Okay, was it a spell that you got? Ship the turn, nothing's changed. Okay, you've got some kind of... Okay, you ambushed me with your Yeti. I need to know that he's got one more in his hand. But beyond that, It's kind of thematic, isn't it? The Yeti rocking up. He's going to try and get wider than me. I'm glad I've got my Death Strike here. It means that I'll be able to blow him out if he tries to attack him with everybody. That is a fast spell, yeah. Yeah, it's thematic, isn't it? Having the Yetis rock up out of nowhere. Troublemaker indeed. Come on, red. If I get red, the door's shut. Oh, jeez. That is so gross. I really don't like Crown of Possibilities, but there are times where you lose to cards that you don't like. And I think this is going to be one of those times. I need to line up my blocks as profitably as possible and probably just take the 1 damage here. Because I need to be Death Striking this Avasaur, because otherwise he gets lethal in if I don't cast my Infernal Tyrant next turn. If that's the case, we'll try and get the best blocks out of this that we can. Oh wait, no! I can use my Skycrag Wyvark. Oh no, I've already used Killer on him. Okay. Calm down, Kozzi. It's not as good as you thought. They are my trades. You have ravaged my board. Oh, Struth. Oh, he's got Overwhelm. Okay. Damn. Thinking about too many things at once and forgot about something that had been on the board forever. Okay, so in that scenario, block should have been different. I shouldn't have blocked with the 1-2. I should have chumped with my 3-4. Actually, no, I should have used my 3-5 on him. I should have used the 1-2 on the 4-6. Felt like I had a chance of getting into that game too. Look, up against Echoing Lumen whatevers, we did well to stabilize the match. It's a real shame when you do so much work and then you just bonehead your way to snatch a loss from the jaws of parity, because I wasn't in a spot where I was going to get victory there. But at least I know that was on me. I can't blame the cards. I like this hand. I feel as though if I draw 1 power, I'm right. And I have the opportunity to get a decent amount of pressure on. I am aware that by having the Infernal Tyrant in my opening hand, I am effectively opening up with a 6-card hand. This card is unlikely to get played on time, if at all. But the power level of it's too high, and the fact that I can play every single other card in my hand is very nice. Especially whilst I can get cheap attacks in like this. I played the 2-drop first because on turn 3 I wanted to be able to play all of my cards. I could have just played the Thorn Beast, but I'd rather go wide to start with, especially against Combre, and then find out which card I think is the least valuable to sacrifice to the Thorn Beast. If he plays a 3-3 on the ground here, then it's an easy choice. If he plays a flyer, then we have to think a little bit harder. But this just gives me the most choices and the most options to make my opponent's life as difficult as possible, and there's no point in hampering me on my choices, especially after I just lost to a bonehead play. That's quite nice, thank you. Ooh. I'm having a bit too much fun today. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, just in case if you couldn't tell. So now we have our Tyrant online, and my choices are as follows. I can either eat the weaker card and keep up my clock, knowing that in 2 turns he's probably going to kill it. Or I can eat the Raptor, reducing the speed of my clock whilst I'm clearly in a winning board position. Or I can just play a 3-3, and I think that's the worst of the 3 options. And I know that if I draw one more sigil, I'll have the Infernal Tyrant. But that being said, if I manage to drop him, I'm probably winning anyway. So I think I'd rather just get the clock in case. So the way that I get a bad scenario out of this is if I draw no more sigils. And in that scenario, I think I'd rather have the 5/5 and a 2/2 in the air. And represent a 3-turn clock rather than a 4-turn clock. Give him less time to get out of this. Well, that makes sense why you trade it off. I'm just going to attack you, man. You can get a Warcry in if you need it. Okay, so he might have Inspired Hour. Or that could have just been the stop of him thinking through whether he wanted to chump block or not. I don't think I saw a stop before, even though he had one up. Sweet, a Stranger theme deck. Now, I don't know if I love attacking in here. I feel as though representing the double block could have been a problem. And it definitely didn't look like he had a stop for a combat trick, so I'm happy to attack now. If he does chump block, it stops me from playing my Tyrant this turn, but I'm okay with that because I've got Wisdom of the Elders to do other things. Now, he's still not the best because they can double block. Perhaps I want to keep my flyer. Which I think I do. It seems counterintuitive. This guy is on attack duty. If he doesn't block, he's on a clock that he can't handle. He also stops him from getting 2 Warcries. And it'll also stop him having the double block available. Okay, so he's run out of sigils there. That's interesting. Is he splashing and he hasn't found the 3rd colour? I don't want a 1-for-1 with him double blocking my Thorn Beast. This is holding back his whole team. So instead, I'll threaten getting him down on a very low life total. And that's a huge amount of value. And if he can't deal with my Twilight Raptor, he's dead next turn. If he can, he's on a very short clock. That's a way of dealing with it that I didn't think about. What else have you got? This is so sweet. I've never come up against a Stranger deck before. I love this. Delacius, mate. Kudos, man. Ooh. That was a good piece of removal for you. So, 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. That is too much. I think what we do is we fly him for the final 2, get him on 1, play the Infernal Tyrant, gain some life, and then give it flying next turn. Especially because if he has a Lord, that would be 5, 15, yeah. Does this get us there? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm losing this. I really can't believe I'm losing it. Where on earth did that come from? That's not a stranger. If he attacks with everybody, I'm taking 4, 8, 12, 16, 18. He has the O3. If I draw a piece of hard removal, I can kill him, so there's no point in me blocking here. I have the hard removal. I have the execute. I have another acolyte, I think. I have levitate. A sigil doesn't do it. Oh, boy. The stranger army got there. What is going on? This world's gone crazy. Yeah, look at that. So, if I had drawn an Ice Sprite, wouldn't have done it. A Wyvark wouldn't have. He had also some of the perfect... So if I would have drawn a Kobold Acolyte, it would have done it. If I would have drawn one of my Executes, it would have done it. If I'd drawn the Levitates, I had 4 outs. This is on the assumption that he had the perfect timing of his Permafrost as well as the Ambush Flyer in a deck that I'm willing to bet he probably has 2 flyers in his whole deck. Would I have done better if I would have just kept attacking in with my Raptor and the Stormcaller? I don't think so. It would have died to his Ambusher. Could I have done better if I didn't attack and I'd stay back? He would have played the Ambusher. I would have been forced to trade next turn. Yeah. I don't know. Perhaps that's just the curves lining up. Like, yeah, I had turn 5 where I did nothing, and that hurt a lot because I drew a power when I had other things. What would have happened if I would have played the guy earlier? I waited a turn to try and get him the extra 3 damage. That might have given him the draw step to get the Ambusher. I know that he had to have drawn it in... This is a straight away a redraw. I know that he had to have drawn it by virtue of the fact that it had increased power and toughness from the Warcries. Yeah. I really don't know. I'll play my faster clock of the 2 creatures in case we manage to get our aggro on. Okay. Because I still have a blocker back anyway, I don't want to be using my Ice Sprite here if I can help it. We'll just keep developing even if it is a little bit power inefficient. And hopefully we can draw our second Primal Sigil. So yeah, aggressive Stone Scar, he's going to be playing equipment to beef things up. There could be an argument made just for curving out, but I don't feel like I want to spend my Ice Sprite. It's amazing that we've missed our 3rd power in so many games considering I'm running 18 sigils. I feel as though that's harsh, but it also is just random. I don't get to control the order of these cards. Okay, now I feel as though I have very little choice but to keep developing. We can't afford to let him get too many creatures on the table, and we just need to use our power rather than sitting back and twiddling thumbs and hope that we draw into power soon. We'll have some reasonable turns once we do, but there's not much you can do when you're screwed. Okay, that's a relief. I was worried. Oh, okay. Yeah, you did it. Oh, I'm really doing it too. Come on, power. Stop messing me around like this. I have a good hand. And this is what I was talking about, where, okay, you got a 5-5. Congratulations. He's not blocked. Boy, he'll block here, so we'll get into my 1. And this is what I mean when you're playing a reactive deck, is power screw is a genuine thing. And when you do, like, I'm on the back foot here because my stuff is too expensive. I feel as though I've crafted a curve around it that can be useful. I have cards that will help me get to my power, so this hand, besides having this guy, isn't really a problem at all. Though, funnily enough, if I draw the power, I'll be able to cast him. That's a quick spell. Cool. We'll hold him back. I want to block his guy with my 1-3, so that way he doesn't get extra value. So I feel as though I have the cards that I need, but when you're screwed, you're screwed. Of course, if I do start to draw, we do have avenues out of here. We play the please don't have a dark return game right now, because that game is fun apparently. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of love now. It is very slow, but for a 1-3, she's doing some serious work. And now, funnily enough, we're actually slightly favoured. It's one of those interesting things of, if you have the choice between being screwed and flooded, it's generally better to be screwed. The reason why it's better to be screwed is because I have all my resources whilst he's now played out. How greedy do I want to get? I could play the Stormcaller now, ping him. Or I could play the Wyvark and attack him. He'll likely give that. I think we just hold back the 1-3 forever and use the pinger. Sure, when we attack in, he'll be able to get his value on it, but... Sorry about that, that's just my alarm to remind me that I need to go into the city soon. So we'll be finishing up after this. Hopefully we can get our aggro on. 4-3 is a little bit annoying, but we'll be freezing him. That's a nice turn. Nice turn for what I think is ordinarily a pretty rubbish card. But kudos, man. Now, if... Nah, that's silly. I don't want to be playing this right now. Although it is my most efficient thing. Perhaps I just want to play the Wyvark, fight, take away all of his resources. And he'll likely kill the O2 for me anyway. It's not really a 2-for-1 that I've done to myself. It's a 3-for-2 because I've taken his equipment as well. And now I have a hand chock full of fun stuff to do. And he is top decking, so this should be in the bag now. He'll need something phenomenal to get himself out of this. I could get more value, but I'd rather use my power efficiently, because if I do draw a second power, I can cast 2 things next turn. And I just realised I left this on the wrong screen. I haven't had 6 wins, it's been far from it. We're actually at 0. Although, I think, given this board state, we're going to be getting to 1 pretty soon. It's a good card. But that one deals with it. And there you have it, folks. Games 1 to 3 with this Feln control deck. How did they go? Game 1, it's hard to say I lost to a bonehead mistake because I was losing at that point anyway, or perhaps I was getting close to parity. So I probably missed out on my opportunity to have a chance to win thanks to a mistake, but I feel as I played well to give myself that chance in the first place. Second game, we lost to one of the sweetest draft decks I've ever seen. I have never played up against a stranger themed deck, and I feel as though they ripped like a champ, especially towards the end. I could be wrong. They could have been holding onto that Avasaur the whole time, and I got played. But I have the suspicion they drew that turn on the turn that they needed it when I had lethal. And then finally for this one, we managed to fight our way through Power Screw and stabilize thanks to the fact that our card quality was higher. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Perhaps you've gotten your Schadenfreude out of watching me make those mistakes. Perhaps you've learned something. Perhaps it's just been entertaining and you've had fun with me today. And either way, I'm happy with any of those three outcomes. Thanks for watching as always. My name's been Kozzi and I've been drafting for Pick 1 Pack 1. And I look forward to seeing you when you join me for the next video. As always, have a good one.